Hello everyone, welcome. So I'm Zoya. Welcome. So basically, in this wonderful individual reading, this will be for Scorpio. This will be for April 1st to April 10th of 2026. So as you can see, Scorpio, I understand what you're going through in that way. There's a lot of things that are going on in that way, and in particular, there's a lot of things that are basically bugging you. It's the ways of how you're feeling in that way, whether you are trying to not be tortured or tormented, or you have your own discrimination, whatever it is. And you know what, Scorpio, I understand what you're going through. It's the way of how you're going to be acting, like whether you are having a good day and then all of a sudden you're having a bad day, or you're having some kind of cyberbullying, whatever it is. And you know what, Scorpio, you need to pay attention on how you're feeling. It's the way of how it works. It's the way of how you're going to do it. You're not playing games here. You're not playing games. But the way this is, you have to pay attention to how you're feeling in that way. You have to be accountable for your actions. It's the way how it is. It's the way how it goes. There's a way of knowing what to do, and you have to be acknowledgeable of how you're feeling in that way. It's the way how it works. It's the way how you're going to do that. That's how it goes. And you have to believe that everything's going to be fine in that way. It's like that's how it goes, right? It's that's how it seems to be. But the way this is, that's how it goes in that way. So, the historical card, it says, failure. I understand a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. That's how it goes. When you have the failure, you're gonna have failure, right? It's the way how it goes. It's like, when someone's being nasty to you, Scorpio, and you're having a bad feeling, it hurts. It hurts your own method about saying why this is not going to be happening. It's not. But the way this is, if you get a chance to understand about a mistake and opportunity, that's how it goes, right? It's like snooping on a phone without your consent. Like it's the way of how it goes. It's basically disgraceful, right? That's how it goes. And when you use failure, you have to understand that. You have to believe what's going on in your own emotions, your feelings, your wants, your needs. That's how it goes, and that's how it seems to be. It's like that's how it goes. And there's a good saying is no pain, no gain, right? That's how it goes in that way, and that's how it seems to be. Okay, so that's how it goes. So all the cards have been shuffled, and it's gonna be how it goes in that way. So we're going to look at what's happening in that way of how it goes, and you have to understand that of how it seems to be. So here we go. So we have basically the Queen of Swords covered. There's independence here. You're showing your independence. You want to do things by yourself. You want to know how it's going to be, and that's how it goes. So you might be dealing with another Gemini, Libra cards in that way. Okay. Now, when you're showing your independence, you have to do it. You have to be mindful. You have to know how it goes from the ins and outs, right? So the way this is. So, by logical explanation, there's always a 50-50%. Whether you're going to have your independence and you're going to show it on how it is, right? That's how it goes, how it seems to be. So that's how it is. By the way this is, whether you have to be attuned to it, you have to be attuned. You have to understand that, right? So the way of this is, you have to pay attention to it. So, the way of this is, I'm going to clarify. I'm going to go from the middle to left. So, 9 of Wands, there's fear. 3 of Pentacles, there's no excitement. 3 of Fortune, you're going to have good luck. 4 of Wands, there's no celebration. Or just there's no skill. 6 of Pentacles, you want kindness. Scorpio, you want to be kind. You have to be respectful to have kindness. Yes, you might have fear. Yes, you might have kindness, but you have to understand that. So you might be dealing with a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. You might deal with a Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus in that way, right? You have no excitement. I don't know why, but that's how it goes, right? So that's how it seems to be. Now I'm going to clarify between the middle and the right side. Seven of Cups, there's a delusion here. 2 of Cups, there's relationships and friendships. King of Pentacles, there's prosperity about money. 5 of Cups is upright, there's grief. Yes, in that way. You're grieving because of what's happening, right? When you are being cyberbullied or online, whatever it is, you're basically saying enough is enough. By the way of this is, Scorpio, whenever you pay attention, whether you are in relationships and friendships, you have to get along with it. Whether if you're being accused or you're being picked on, whatever it is, whether you have a disability or not, you pay attention on how you're feeling. It's the way how it goes. Now, I'm not trying to be mean or rude here, but the way this is, Scorpio, you have to pay attention. right? You have to be who you are. You have to be authentic. You have to be mindful of how you're feeling in that way. You have to do it. Because in the way of how this is, you have to pay attention to it, right? So let me clarify this 6 Pentacles here. Cherry Earth, there's no progress. 10 Cups here, there's completion. King Cups here, there's no support. King Wands here, there's no leadership. And Page of Swords is upright, there's education. You're being educated. When you're being educated, you want to know what's going on in that way, because that's how it goes. If you want to have your own appreciation, if you want to have dedication, that's how it goes. But you have to be mindful. You have to be mindful, because that's how it goes in that way. Right? There's always something rather than nothing. Right? That's how it goes. And when you act like it, that's how it's going to be. So what's this 5 of Cups here? Page of Pentacles here, there's prospects. 10 Swords here, there's conclusions. Judgment is upright, you're taking action. That's how it goes. You have to take things for granted. You have to know that you're going to show your support and do what you can. Right? You have to understand that. Because the way of this is, you have to do exactly how it is. So, let me clarify. Let me clarify this page of Swords here. For Pentacles here, there's no prosperity about money. 10 Cups here, there's incompletion. Emperor's over their structure. That's how it goes. You pay attention on how you're feeling in that way, because that's how it goes. What's in the middle? 8 Pentacles over there's perfection. That's how it goes in that way. What's this Judgment? Knight of Swords over there's trauma. That's how it goes. So let me clarify this 8 Pentacles here. Ace Cups here, there's only satisfactory. Justice over, you're telling the truth. 8 Wands over their speed. That's how it goes. Yep. That's how it seems to be in that way. What's this Knight of Swords here? Here, finish over, you want guidance. Sun carries over, there's positivity. Ace Pentacles over, there's prosperity about money. Fool reverse, there's no change. Devil reverse, there's no obsessions, addictions. 2 Wands over, there's basically planning. That's how it goes. Let me clarify this Emperor. 3 Pentacles here, there's no excitement. 7 Wands here, there's no resilience. King Cups here, there's no support. 9 of Swords here, there's no trauma. 9 Wands here, there's no fear. 6 Cups here, there's no kindness. And 10 of Swords here, there's basically conclusions. That's how it goes. So you know what, Scorpio, I know what you're going through in that way, because you have to represent yourself. You have to do what you can to understand that. It's the way how it goes. Because the way this is, that's how it seems to be. So let me clarify this 10 Swords here. Moon is upright, there's transmutations. Turn is upright, there's solitude. Judgment are you're taking action. So things are going to be as it goes along, because that's how it goes, because that's how it seems to be. Let me clarify this Moon card. Those upright, there's obsessions, addictions. The reverse is no decisions. Sun card is upright, there's positivity. Yeah, because you're being attacked. You're being attacked by negativity, and when it happens to you, Scorpio, I understand what you're going through, because enough is enough. You have to pay attention to it. If you already have a soulmate, you are being solitude, right? That's how it goes. And when you do it, that's how it seems to be in that way. So let me clarify this Hermit card. Strength card is upright, there's bravery. World is upright, there's completion. Emperor is upright, there's structure. That's how it goes. So things will come again as it goes along, because that's how it's going to be. You have to understand it. It's the way of how it goes. You're going to accept that. You have to adapt it, because that's how it is. Yes, there's always these necessary things that you need to understand that. If you are in failure and you are failing, you have to understand that. You have to make your own bold move, because that's how it goes. You have to understand that. So let me see what this Judgment card. Moon is some misrotations. Death card is over, there's endings. The Wheel of Fortune is over, there's good luck. Fool is over, there's change. Yeah, because the way of this is, the way of how you're going through, in that way, you need to understand it. You need to do what you can to be mindful of how you're going to experience. Because the way this is, that's how it goes. Let me clarify this Sun card. The Hangman right here, there's no restrictions. Emperor is over, there's no no nourishment. Winner is, there's no misrotation. So let me see what this Hangman is. Hermit is over, there's solitude. Devil reverse, no obsessions, addictions. Cherry is over, there's progress. That's how it goes. So you're looking for solitude. Whether you like it or not, that's how it goes. Because you see it in a different perspective. That's all you can do. But you know what, Scorpio? You have to pay attention on how you're feeling in that way because you have to go with the flow. And when you do it, that's how it's going to be. What's the same person about? Warriors, there's no incompletion. Emperor's over, there's structure. Sun cards over, there's positivity. Yeah, because you want to stay positive. As much as you want, you have to stay positive as much as you get. That's how it seems to be. What's this moon card about? There's yours, there's no decisions. Just as though you're telling the truth. Yeah, because you want to tell the truth. You want to tell the truth because of the way how this is. You have to pay attention to it, because that's how it goes in that way. Because that's how it is. It's like you have to believe in order to do that. You have to understand about your own the way how it goes in that way. Because that's how it seems to be. So let me clarify the Chariot card. Let me see. So 9 wands, so there's immaturity. Yeah, because that's how it goes, right? So you might be doing it in our Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. What's the Sun card about? 5 of Swords, sorry, there's conflict. What's this Justice card? King of Swords, there's no knowledge. King of Swords, there's support. Yeah, because that's how it goes. So when you have conflict and when things are not going as planned, Scorpio, it's like this is how it goes. You're saying, why me? Why? That's how it goes. And things will be as it goes, and you have to feel like it. You have to know about it, because in that way, you have your own way about being respectful. You have to pay attention. You have to understand that, right? So that's how it seems to be. So go from the middle to the right, middle to the left. 5 cups, sorry, there's grief. Page Pentacles, sorry, there's prospects. Queen Wands, sorry, there's charisma. 2 Wands, there's no planning. 6 cups, sorry, there's the past. 5 Swords, sorry, there's conflict. 3 cups, sorry, there's celebration. 8 cups, sorry, there's satisfaction. 7 Swords, it's upright, you're feeling deceit. That's how it goes. So things are going to be happening all at once, because that's how it goes. If you are stuck on the past, leave that alone. But you know what, Scorpio? If you're feeling like how things are, and you're having grief, and you're having whatever you're doing, that's how it goes. It's like you're feeling it emotionally, and that's how it is. It's sad, because the way how this is, everything will come to a part, and that's how it goes. It's like, that's how it seems to be. And when you act like this, that's how it seems to be. It's like you need to understand what your motives are. It's the way how it goes. It's the way how you're going to do things in that way. It's the way how you're going to look at it in a different perspective. That's all you can do. But the way this is, Scorpio, you pay attention to how you're feeling in that way. Let's be in the middle and the left side. A1 Swords, there's no speed. H1 or H Swords is upright, there's understanding. 3 Wands, there's no communication. 9 Swords, there's trauma. Lovers, you're making decisions. 8 of Swords, there's no anxiety. 5 Pentacles, there's basically insecurity. Yeah, because that's how it goes. So when you are caught off communication, you're basically saying, well, this is how it goes. I need to understand that. That's how it goes, Scorpio. Because that's how it seems to be. If you want to make decisions, if you want to have an understanding, that's how it goes. But it's like you're trying to do that what you can in that way. You need to understand that, because that's how it goes. What's the meaning of this situation? 6 months is that you're having achievement. Yeah, because you want to be achieved. You want to have things to be going as planned. That's how it goes in that way. So that's how it seems to be. But the universe will say to you that you need to have your own achievement. You're going to have achievement, Scorpio. It's like that's how it goes, and you have to understand that, because you have to do what you can to make things right, and you have to do exactly how it is. So I hope you all like this video. Try to understand it. Try to give it and you have to understand that it's the way how this is. And when you are being like Scorpio or whoever else you're being with, you have to understand that it's the way how it goes. So you have to pay attention. But that's how it seems to be. So I hope you all like this video. Please understand that. Please give a like. Please give a comment if you want. And this is how it seems to be. So thank you so much, and have a nice day. And I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye for now, Reese. Thank you, and have a nice day. Thank you, and bye.